All right, so I've been looking at waves this morning. I'm not even going to get into Bitcoin yet, but the reason why I've been looking at waves, number one, woke up, saw this 13% up move. It was already coming down. And after seeing this, with the understanding that this is probably putting in a higher low, we could just do good old projector tool and see that, hey, we're probably in the range of perfect higher low structure. So got a good impression that this box right here might be a nice short opportunity. So I was looking for price to come into the 50 check. We did that. That gets me my 20+%. That, and I usually evaluate. Do I take it right away? I mean, if price is breaking straight on down through this, no, I'm just going to hold on to it and let it go, move stops. Right, and this is pretty much what this did. It didn't really give me much opportunity. This little spike up, but I think I was getting coffee. So now we see. Okay, like now I could maybe move stops to VWAP, right, and say, all right, if it breaks VWAP, I'm getting out of this thing, or a portion of it, quarter, half, whatever I decide at the time, right? But I usually take some profits, 20 to 30% mark. Just to make sure I got my profits in, I can pay for my trade, right? Now, why am I looking at this like, hey, why did I draw this? Why did I draw this up line and I'm in a short? If I think this could go up here. Well, because after looking at this and seeing this almost similar signature that I put in here, stab down, we cross above the 200. I mean, VWAP. Okay, price resets at the exact same time, 8:30, goes nuts. Expansion away from the VWAP, we create this shape. Track sideways, 50 EMA crosses VWAP. As price comes back in for this last retrace on the 50, bang, explodes. Okay. So the first part of this step is done. Boom, we got the massive expansion. We create this shape. It's slightly different. It's a little humped, but we're tracking sideways now, right? A little bit more aggressive, but you have to remember, this was Friday night when this all went down. Yep, Friday. So all weekend trading Saturday, right? So this track sideways is muted. Not a lot of volume, not a lot of interest right now. We come over to our boys, our blokes across the pond. Well, they seem interested, okay? They seem interested in marking price up. Yeah, that's what this seems to me. Because here, price got driven up by Hong Kong session, dropped right back down. We come into the EU Brinks. They're set up lower, but what do? Lift, lift, lift. They don't stick around. They don't even revisit the Brinks. They get to the top of it, they're gone. So through the EU session, they were searching for higher prices. I believe that ultimately, we're going to be up here. We're going to see what the U.S. Brinks does, or the U.S. market in general when it finally opens. But I believe we're going to get a price action that drives down further and then back up. But we'll see. U.S. Brinks is open now. It's been kind of muted as far as the trading goes. But let's see what happens, right? But that's the play. That's what I'm looking for, is a repeat of this action back here on another stab higher. That's 10.5%, right? Now, if we deliver, we'll just stack this up here, right? And say, okay, this is going to track sideways and give me another some like 10%, right? Something like this. Well, the issue we run into up here is, it's not an issue, but you run into some structure. Oh no, it's up here. That's why. Yeah. Okay. Wow. So this has room to really, really, really run. It really does. This is wild because this wasn't even the big move, man. This is the big move back here. 288. 288, and it's not till 335 that it comes into some significance. 338. So it has dealt with every lower, all these local highs. Dealt with them all. So as price comes back through here, once it gets to this level right here, 289, it could be a rocket ship up to 340. Right, this is a particular area that I'll be paying attention to, and I'll be watching waves now, because I think that would be explosive. Yeah, because once price crosses this level, I mean, it could just be gangbusters, man. Just like this, just like what this did. All right, because price had already dealt with. It didn't do much. This local high, right? These local highs, done. So once price got to here, all of that, what did I have to deal with? This one and this one. That was it. Bing, bing. Between these two is 17%. Just so we're clear. So this isn't like some minor move here, right? And it could be done in, it's a 4-hour candle. Like, it could be done in 15 minutes. It could be done in 15. All right, well, maybe an hour. But this move right here, this is 1, 2, 3, 4 15-minute candles, 1 hour. This thing saw 16% in an hour. Normal stuff over here in crypto for a defunct stable coin, right? So that's waves. Still in the short right now. So, but these are my long areas I'm looking for pickups. And again, I'm not just buying as price comes into this box, right? So I don't have orders set yet. That's not what I do. Just because of the volatility of these things, I mean, it could easily knife straight through here. You take that short, and you could be down. On 10x, you could be down 20-30%, and you just, for my money, it's not worth it, man. I've done this enough to there ain't no heroes in trading. And there's nobody wearing a cape, taking trades like that, surviving. I'll tell you that right now. You're better off sitting back, waiting, letting these brave souls up here long. I mean, these guys longed. This is at the highest point in the chart at this time, right? These guys were longing, looking where I ultimately believe this is probably going. That's why this looks so good. Clean break of the VWAP. They look like they were stacking a second candle just like this back here, this stuff. But the difference with this is they weren't breaking VWAP. VWAP had just reset, so it's a slightly different scenario. But point is created roughly the same structure. Now we got a double top between these two guys, and listen, I'm just waiting for the New York bring that fire and. Here it is. It's we opened just now. Let's see what Bitcoin's up to, right? What's Bitcoin doing? It's doing okay. Dixie, 102. I mean, nothing's at any significant levels that we really need to be worried about. Let me see what happened with Phantom. Would you look at that? You would have had to try a few times, but this is I like this box here. I liked it here for this move. Yeah, it did it fast. Did it quick, but yeah, multiple stabs at this apple, boy. I mean, never didn't do the full chalupa, but again, so that's 8%. That would have been 80. Yeah, this. What do we do? Great, but this was the one. You play, and finally get it. But now what's it doing? Looks like it's going up. Looks like it's going up. Similar signature, big wick down here. I like this candle. I like this big green right here. Right here. So Phantom on the 15. Was it? Yeah, sometimes the 15 looks pretty good for these guys. Yeah, I'd be a buyer. I'd be looking at buys. Let's see though. Let's see where. Again, this is all depending on Bitcoin. Bitcoin looked like it was fine though. Nothing special going on. In fact, moving away from the VWAP to the upside already. Moving away from its daily open. It could track right up to the 800. That'd be enough. I mean, that might be enough for something like Phantom. You know, to get up to its daily open, get up to this. That's 1.5%. I'd look for it to land up a little higher, to be honest. So I would look for price to come into the VWAP one more time. Get a retrace on here. I mean, actually, you could argue that it already did. Just didn't touch the 200. So, you know, if you want to be patient, this is what you wait for. Right? This is what you wait for. Wait for it to come up into the 200 first, into this area, and then come back, right? Give you the retrace, let you know it's for real. Something like this. I mean, it didn't end up holding, however, you could have bought this retrace. If you're trying to chase this, you're going to get smoked. You're not going to get good prints in here. Like, same concept, right? If you want to take that trade now, you take it now. You know, you take it now based on, hey, I think it's crossing the 50 and it's going higher, right? Perfectly reasonable. You could argue this is a retrace back in. Half this vector candle has been taken. So next, another one I like to play quite a bit. I have my charts on there. I don't know why I have two of these here, but oh, there are my lines. So SNX is below, coming up into the 805. But let's get on the 5 minute, the 800, 200 yet. So trading below VWAP, trading below 800. So what you're hoping for now is for this thing to push through and start chipping away at the 200 and 800 EMAs, right? Now from here, you're like, okay, that's not even much. With the 3% up to the 800, right? But I don't even know if that trade's going to hold, right? Like, you need to see this cross the VWAP first, close a candle, and then potentially get going. I mean, I'd be waiting for that first, because it's probably just going to get tapped down by the 200, jammed in between here for a minute, and then trade out, right? So this is what I think it's going to do. But once it clears this level right here, what's this? 2037. Yeah. See ya. See ya. So you get something like this. You know, so instead of taking that risk down here, was this the bottom? I don't, yeah, who knows? But try to catch this on a retrace. Because this is where it opened. This is the U.S. ring now open down here. Yeah, they may bring it back in. This looks like a good break though. Doesn't look bad. It's only the 5 minute, and let's keep in mind we are still, so just this little trend here. Hasn't gone anywhere yet. Still lower highs. So first thing it's going to need to do is break this area. Right about here. Yeah, it's going to need to stab above this. It's going to do it. All right, let me get these boys. Kids are up. I'll be back.